And like I say, I can do whatever I want now, and and just I don't like the way he approached.
Canelo Álvarez and David Benavidez have been at the center of boxing's most heated debates for years. While fans and Benavidez himself have relentlessly pushed for a clash, their demands have yet to materialize into a fight. Adding fuel to the fire, Canelo's recent comments shed light on why he won't give Benavidez a shot, making the possibility of this showdown seem even more distant. Jose Benavidez Sr. once again threw shade at Canelo Álvarez following his star pupil Pacheco's latest victory against Steven Nelson. Reflecting on the missed opportunity for David to fight Canelo, Benavidez Sr. believes that Canelo is avoiding younger, stronger contenders like his son and Diego Pacheco. Benavidez Sr. expressed confidence in Pacheco's abilities, praising the young fighter's strength, range, and jab, saying he's only getting better with time. He implied that Canelo would never agree to fight someone like Pacheco, who has all the qualities to be a serious threat in the ring.
Well, like I said, he's getting stronger and stronger, and everybody knows that, Canelo would never take a fight with Diego Pacheco.
Despite Canelo's avoidance of these challenges, Benavidez Sr. remains optimistic about the future. He mentioned that should Canelo be willing to take on Pacheco or David, they'd be ready to face him. Benavidez Sr. seems to be making it clear that while Canelo may have avoided his son, they remain poised for whatever challenges lie ahead.
He's strong, rangy, he uses his jab very well, super young, and he's getting better and better and better. So if Canelo's here, he's ready. He's ready to take that challenge, and I think that will be a great fight.
David Benavidez continues to voice his frustration about Canelo Álvarez's refusal to face him in the ring, even as he prepares for his upcoming fight with David Morrell. On the Big Fight Weekend podcast, Benavidez shared his thoughts, stating, I think now it's really apparent that Canelo does whatever he wants to do, and he plays by his own rules. He's a great champion. I take nothing away from him, but he's been fighting smaller guys from smaller weight classes and been making them come up. But I guess if that's what he wants to do and that's in their plans, they can do whatever they want. Benavidez didn't hold back when discussing the possibility of facing Canelo, adding, I also know that Canelo knows that this, Benavidez-Canelo, is the most dangerous fight that he can make for himself, because this is a 50-50 fight. He knows that David Benavidez is the most dangerous fighter for him out there. The possibility of a Canelo Álvarez versus David Benavidez fight seems unlikely at the moment, but predictions about the outcome are already circulating. Former rival Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who lost to Benavidez via a 6th round stoppage last November, doesn't believe Canelo stands a chance against the Mexican monster. In an interview, Andrade expressed understanding for Canelo's hesitation, stating that he doesn't blame him for avoiding the fight. He pointed out the challenges he faced during his bout with Benavidez, emphasizing the size and power advantages that Benavidez holds over Canelo. Andrade explained that while he was able to have some success against Benavidez in the early rounds, the weight and reach of his opponent ultimately made it difficult to keep control. According to Andrade, Canelo would struggle with Benavidez's unique combination of size and punching power, making the fight a tough task for the Mexican superstar. Canelo Álvarez recently opened up about why he hasn't given David Benavidez the fight fans have been clamoring for. According to Canelo, Benavidez's approach in calling him out has been disrespectful, and that's one of the key reasons why he hasn't been given the opportunity. Canelo believes that when a fighter approaches a champion in a disrespectful manner, it diminishes the value of the fight and doesn't earn the respect necessary for a showdown.
And like I say, I can do whatever I want now, and just I don't like the way he approached.
Canelo further explained that having fought with all the top champions, he now has the power to choose who he faces next. He emphasized that he's done enough in the sport, and his legacy allows him to make decisions on his own terms. Despite the growing demands for a Benavidez fight, Canelo has made it clear that the disrespect shown by Benavidez has made him less inclined to take the bout.
At this point, I fight with everybody, with every champion, with all the best out there, and when somebody approach you like that and call you out like that, you don't need to give them money.
Canelo Álvarez highlighted the difference between David Benavidez and Terence Crawford's approaches when it comes to securing a fight with him. While Canelo expressed that Benavidez had been disrespectful in his pursuit, he commended Crawford for his respectful attitude. Canelo made it clear that Crawford's approach has earned him a level of respect, making him open to a potential matchup.
I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know. I want Canelo. No, nothing bad, saying bad things about me or whatever, no. But like I say, you never know too. Maybe someday I wake up and I say I want to be that guy.
Although Canelo acknowledged that fans want to see the fight, he remains uncertain about when or if it will happen, but he emphasized that he's always open to competitive and respectful challenges.
People want to see that fight, and maybe they see that fight. We don't know yet, right? But maybe they see that fight, and I'm always open to good fights, you know. And don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He's really good, really good abilities and everything. And maybe we will see that fight.
Jose Benavidez Sr. expressed his frustration over the potential Canelo Álvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, arguing that it isn't a fair matchup due to the size difference. He emphasized that both Canelo and Crawford are too big for one another, especially for a fighter like Crawford, who he believes would struggle against the size and power of Canelo. Sr. made it clear that he's not interested in seeing the fight, stating that he'd be embarrassed to ask for such a contest.
I would be embarrassed to ask for that fight for David Benavidez. You know, so I mean, I just think that David Benavidez is too big. I think Canelo is too big. You know, I mean, I'm not interested. I don't think it's a fair fight. I don't think it's a kind of equal fight. You know, Canelo's just too big for Terence Crawford.
Instead, Benavidez Sr. shifted focus to his son, David Benavidez, expressing that the priority is on his upcoming fight with David Morrell. He stressed that Benavidez's fight against Morrell is critical and should not be underestimated, as it's one of the toughest challenges Benavidez has faced.
But right now, at this point, I don't give a fuck about Canelo, man. To be honest, we're focused 100% locked in on David Morrell. It's a tough fight. It's one of the toughest fights of David Benavidez to this date, you know? So we're gonna have to focus on David Morrell. We cannot underestimate him, you know? He's a two-time world champion in 2 division class, a young fighter. So that's what's in our mind right now.
While Sr. remains hopeful for a future clash between Canelo and his son, he's resigned to the idea that financial incentives won't be enough to get Canelo in the ring with the Mexican monster anytime soon.
But it makes me happy though to hear that. Hopefully that in the future it can happen. But I'm just down with Canelo, man. You know, to be honest with you, I don't think no money is going to make him get inside the ring with David Benavidez, the Mexican monster.
Since there are still no clear signs of the fight happening, both David Benavidez and Canelo Álvarez have their eyes set on potential upcoming matches. Benavidez is focused on his upcoming fight with David Morrell on February 1st, which could be a make-or-break moment for his career. Meanwhile, Canelo's future is still up in the air as fans continue to hope for the long-discussed showdown with Terence Crawford. Boxing journalist Rick Glazer has now confirmed that Canelo is in the process of signing a 3-fight deal with Turki Alalshik, which will include a mega fight with Terence Crawford in September. Glazer shared this update on X, stating, Canelo is in the process of signing a 3-fight deal with Turki Alalshik, which will include a mega fight with Terence Crawford in September. It'll be by far the biggest fight in boxing this year. Nothing else compares. And smartly, Crawford has agreed to no rehydration clause. In a playful twist, Turki Alalshik also shared a short, soundless video on his X account, showing Canelo, Crawford, and himself on a video call. The mysterious video has sparked curiosity, with fans eagerly speculating about the details of their conversation and the future of this high-stakes matchup. Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas expressed a strong opinion on his podcast, The Fight with Teddy Atlas. While acknowledging Canelo's greatness, Atlas leaned towards Crawford as the likely winner. He praised Crawford's exceptional talent, noting that his skills extend beyond physical prowess. Atlas emphasized Crawford's strategic brilliance, unique qualities, and adaptability, which set him apart as a fighter capable of toppling even a legend like Canelo. Similarly, Shakur Stevenson has confidently backed Crawford to handle Canelo in the ring, Speaking to a prominent boxing outlet, Stevenson shared that he had been advocating for this matchup for years, even before Crawford publicly entertained the idea. He believes that while the fight may not be easy, Crawford's style aligns perfectly with defeating Canelo. Stevenson even suggested that Crawford's technical finesse could make the bout look less competitive than expected, further fueling excitement for the potential clash.
Honestly, I've been saying this for years now. I think I'm probably one of the first people that have been said this. Even before Terrence was saying this, like, I always thought that his style versus Canelo, I think that he beats Canelo. I ain't gonna say it'd be an easy fight, but he can make it a very easy fight. So,
TalkSport host Gareth A. Davies shared insights based on a personal encounter with Crawford in Dubai. Davies observed that Crawford had physically bulked up, which could be a crucial factor if he moves up in weight to challenge Canelo. This transformation, he suggested, might be part of Crawford's preparation for a tougher, higher weight category fight.
And I ran into Terrence in Dubai, and he's much thicker now, isn't he? He's really thickened out recently. And he's 38, for God's sake. He has thickened out.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I don't think Canelo is just walking through his punches. Terrence can punch, and I think it goes for any weight class.
Timothy Bradley has also made waves with his confident prediction favoring Crawford. After carefully studying both fighters' styles, Bradley shared his belief in Crawford's ability to dominate Canelo. He emphasized that Crawford could deliver a decisive performance, stating that he expects Crawford to dismantle Álvarez with precision and power. Bradley's detailed analysis underscored his confidence, describing Crawford as a fighter who could beat the brakes off Canelo.
Just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Álvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Álvarez. Yes, he is.
On the other hand, former lightweight champion Mikey Garcia took a more cautious approach. In an interview, Garcia highlighted the significant weight difference between the two fighters. While acknowledging Crawford's technical brilliance, Garcia noted that Canelo's size and power could be deciding factors.
I'm not a big fan of that fight matchmaking because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen.
Garcia pointed out that Crawford, who recently moved to 154 pounds, faced challenges at that weight, whereas Canelo is an established powerhouse at 168 pounds. Garcia concluded that although Crawford may be the more skilled fighter, the size disparity could give Canelo the edge.
Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight.
Interestingly, Bob Arum, Crawford's former promoter, has also revisited his stance on this potential matchup. Arum, who initially predicted a dominant performance by Canelo, has since acknowledged Crawford's versatility and unique qualities. He highlighted Crawford's ambidextrous fighting style, which has been a source of frustration for many opponents, including Errol Spence. Arum now views the fight as far more competitive, crediting Crawford's ability to adapt and excel in challenging situations.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. And that's what happened to what's his name?
Errol?
Errol,
Errol Spence.
Spence trained to fight a right-handed fighter, and all he saw was a southpaw fight.
David Benavidez himself acknowledged Crawford's technical skills, but expressed concerns about his power at higher weight classes. Benavidez stated that while Crawford is undoubtedly one of the best technical fighters he has ever seen, his power seemed to diminish when he moved up to 154 pounds. He explained, "To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I have ever seen. When he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he looked like he didn't have the power he had at 154. 147, and he'd still have to come up 2 or 3 weight classes. Despite his admiration for Crawford's skills, Benavidez added, "Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge." Trainer Dave Coldwell highlighted the immense talent of both fighters, describing Morrell as an unbelievable talent at super middleweight. He emphasized that both fighters have excelled in this weight class, making their clash highly anticipated. However, Coldwell admitted that predicting the outcome would be challenging, given Morrell's relatively new entry into the division and Benavidez's established prowess. Promoter Eddie Hearn added another layer to the conversation by highlighting David Benavidez's bold decision to face such a formidable opponent. Hearn acknowledged Morrell's well-deserved reputation as a technically skilled Cuban fighter, respected by many in the boxing community. However, he expressed unwavering confidence in Benavidez's abilities. Hearn praised Benavidez's willingness to take on challenges that other fighters might shy away from, emphasizing that this attitude is what creates legendary matchups and elevates the sport of boxing. Similarly, Carl Frampton weighed in with his thoughts on the highly anticipated clash. Frampton commended both David Benavidez and David Morrell for their courage in stepping into the ring for such a high-stakes encounter. He pointed out that predicting a winner is no easy task given the talents of both fighters. However, Frampton emphasized Benavidez's consistency and resilience, traits that have made him a standout competitor. For fans eagerly waiting for the Canelo Álvarez versus David Benavidez fight, the path to it seems uncertain, but their upcoming matches can still bring excitement. Canelo has been clear in expressing his reluctance to face Benavidez, citing the latter's attitude as a significant factor in his decision. Meanwhile, Benavidez and his father have been outspoken in accusing Canelo of avoiding challenging opponents, opting instead to engage in bouts with smaller fighters. Whether Canelo's reluctance stems from a strategic calculation or genuine disinterest in facing Benavidez remains a topic of debate. However, there is a glimmer of hope. Canelo, who once appeared uninterested in taking on the formidable Terence Crawford, now finds that fight inching closer to reality. This demonstrates that while the Canelo versus Benavidez bout may seem distant, it's far from an impossibility. As public pressure mounts and the dynamics within the boxing world continue to evolve, the potential for this highly anticipated fight may materialize sooner than anyone expects. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Do you agree with Canelo's decision to avoid fighting Benavidez? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.